This is Kilo 9 Romeo Mike Romeo. Repeat, this is K9RMR, currently monitoring from Taylorsville, Indiana on Christmas Day.
I see you're going back and forth between the two repeaters this morning, but you got at least one response, me.
Well, Merry Christmas, Noel. I hope you and everybody at your house is doing okay.
Yes, we are. Staying warm and laughing at all the repeated public service announcements for everybody who thinks that no one knows how to wear a mask or maintain social distancing, and they've never heard of that before, and they have to be reminded every 5 seconds. Oh, my. Well, I would say don't get me started, but I'm already started, so I'll stop. Back to you, N9CJT.
Yeah, there's the mask issue, especially now that I saw a thing the other day. They've got a new strand of COVID-19 apparently over in Europe, so it's supposed to be more spreadable or whatever. I didn't catch all the details, but apparently there's a new strand of it, so that's not even good news. And the other thing is the people driving don't seem to realize there's the ground is icy, so there's also that. But I just had a very good lunch with my mother. So obviously we're not going anywhere to see any family or anything because of the virus. But lunch was very good, so I'm not complaining.
Okay, yeah. Lunch here was good too. Barb and I had homemade pie, and it was delicious.
We had let's see what we had. We had ham and biscuit and some corn, not corn, carrots, and some of that homemade jelly, which is, oh my gosh, the jelly on the biscuits. Oh my gosh, that is very good.
You're reminding me of Christmas dinner. I'm going to say around 1954. I was a little tyke. We went over to some friend's house for that Christmas dinner, and the story that I'm told, I do remember the ham, and it was quite good, but I don't remember eating half of it. But that's what it was told, that I just kept asking for more and more until it was half gone.
Well, I did something similar one time at a relative's high school graduation, except for ham, it was 7-Up. They had went out and bought they had one of these, I don't know, I'd call them animal feeders, where you have it's about 3 foot tall, and you fill it full of ice, and it's probably about 6 foot long. And they lived out on a farm, so they had plenty of room to put it there, but they filled it up with a bunch of 7-Up, and I think I drank 9 bottles of 7-Up in about 5 or 6 hours. So I remember stuffing myself like that when I was a kid. I was probably 6 or 7, and but for some reason I remember that real well. So can't afford to do that anymore, obviously, though.
Caffeinated?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there was a lot of sugar.
Okay, well, I'm probably safe then, but if I did 9 bottles of a caffeinated soft drink, it would probably be just as bad as if I drank 1 cup of coffee. And the one time I did that, the way I explain it to people is if you feed me any caffeine, you're going to have to peel me off the ceiling.
I know some people like that. We got a new youth minister at our church who she every time you see her, she's got a cup of coffee with her. So I think that's kind of interesting. And my grandfather, of course, he's dead now, but every morning, every meal, he had to have coffee just to keep him going through the day. And not only did he have to have a coffee, he had to have his brand of coffee. I remember one time Grandma tried to, she had bought some cheap generic coffee, and she tried to mix them together, but he got up one morning and threw it out, and I guess there was a big argument or fight over the fact that she was trying to do him in because she got the wrong kind of, or she was mixing up the coffee. So he was real particular about the coffee, so I can understand that.
Well, this could get long-winded. What's your favorite simplex frequency? I've got my antenna pointed right at you, so I should be able to hear you fine.
Okay, you want to try 145, 145?
145, 145, 145.14 and a half. Okay, I'll give that a shot.
Okay, K9RMR to QSY to 145.145. N9CJT, K9RMR.
45. Is the frequency in use, please? N9CJT.
I think it's just us.
Oh gosh, you're full scale. Nice signal down here.
Well, that's my full 5 watts.
Well, drop it to a lower power and see if I still hear you. No reason to fry your brain.
Okay, give me a second. N9CJT, how am I doing now?
Still pegging my needle.
Okay, that's 3. Let me try a lower setting. Hold on. N9CJT, K9RMR, how am I doing now?
Still pegging my needle.
Okay, that's one. Let me go to a half. N9CJT, K9RMR, how am I doing?
Let me hear that one again. I had my squelch turned up too high. Sorry.
Okay, I'm at half a watt now. How am I doing?
Oh, let's see. You're only about a S8. No, a good copy. Seriously. Now, if you turn the thing sideways, I might lose you, but so far so good. Are you on a top of the radio mounted antenna, or are you on an outside antenna?
I'm on a handheld.
Okay. Rubber duck or one of those extended whips?
I got a Kenwood THD 74A. Like I said, now I'm currently at half a watt, and I've got a 15.5 inch antenna. But I am standing next to the window in my bedroom.
Okay. Well, if we have a long conversation, I might ask you to go back up to a watt because that's a little noisy, but I have absolutely no trouble understanding what you're saying. Randall, that's pretty cool. And I've just got a small beam. It's 4-element, and it's pointed permanently toward Indianapolis, so it must go right through you. Anyway, let's see, where were we? I can't remember where we were in the conversation. Back to you.
That's okay. I think we were talking about the food we were eating. I got the antenna that came with the radio was about half the length, and it was a little wider, but the quality of it, the manufacturing quality of the Kenwood antenna is better, but the RX and TX of this particular antenna, while it may not be built as well, does a better job of receiving and sending, it seems like. So, and it doesn't look too bad. So I'm not complaining. I'm happy with it.
Okay. Go back up to 1 watt. You got scratchy that time. Almost too scratchy for me. You must have sat down or something.
No, I'm still here by the window. I'm on 1 watt now. How's this?
Beautiful. Thank you. That does make a difference, and it'll save your battery compared to 5 watts. Neat. Let's see. I know what I was going to ask you. You were talking about church, and I don't know where you attend church, so I was curious about that. Over.
I'm a member at East Columbus Christian Church over there by the high school. High schools, I should say.
You said something there at the very end that I missed. I got East Columbus Christian Church over by the high school, but then you said something else, and we doubled.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say there's actually well we have a school at our church, and of course the East High School is across the street. So I was saying there's two high schools.
Roger. I have a friend who was a teaching assistant there for many, many years, and I'm not sure whether she's still there or not. But her call sign was K9PDG.
Okay. What was her name? Maybe I know her. I don't know.
You might know her by Bev, or you might know her by Ms. Maple.
No, that name doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. I can't remember where she goes to church, but I don't think it's there. But she did work there for many years, and I used to hear good reports about that school. Over.
Well, I went there. Of course, when I went there, they only had up to the sixth grade. Now they have all the way up to high school. I don't know. I don't really know a whole lot about the school part of it because I'm just going to church there. But yeah, I hear good things too. So I think they're doing pretty good. Of course, everything's kind of weird this year because of the COVID and everything.
Roger, my older son used to volunteer with the youth group there as well. I remember very clearly the day that he came back from Ichthus with a group of kids early because a tornado had come through and blown all their tents away.
Well, I had a similar situation. We had a similar back when I was in. Let's see, that was back in high school. We had. I was in the Boy Scouts. We had a similar situation with the tents, and we decided to come home early. So I understand that situation.
Youth pastor was still there, but at the moment I can't remember his name. My son's in his 40s now, so it's been a while.
Well, he's probably about the same age as I am then.
Work any unusual stations? Come to think of it, I don't know what you have besides the handy-talkie. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. I don't have any HF capabilities with this radio, so everything I do is so far, unless I go farther north. Like I said, I've taken this one up to Indianapolis before. In fact, last year when we went to a relative's house up in Indianapolis, I took it with me and did some D-Star because it has D-Star capability. And I was talking to people in let's see, Hawaii, Texas, Florida. So it was pretty nice. I mean, of course, they have a reflector that's online up there, so that does make a difference.
JT, are you familiar with the Shelbyville D-Star repeater?
Yeah, Joe was trying to help, gave me the frequency, and I've got it written down somewhere. I can't reach it from here. I tried to get it. I could hear what they were saying, but I couldn't. I'm not powerful enough. The transmission's not powerful enough to reach that up there.
Antenna on the roof of the house.
Well, my neighbor was. I was hoping. They sold their house, and I thought I was gonna be able to get an antenna from him. He's got a. I'm guessing it's about a 50-foot tower. There's no antenna on the top of it, but I was hoping to get that from him, but it didn't work out. So, I mean, he was willing to give it to me, but his wife's brother wasn't too keen on giving it away. They wanted some money for it, and they were wanting quite a bit, so it didn't work out.
Roger. Well, there's still the option of sticking a pipe down your chimney and bracing it just inside the chimney in a way that doesn't obscure the furnace, and using that to mount something on sticking out of the chimney. There's still possibility of putting a pipe on the on the west side of your house.
Well, I don't think Mother would go too far on putting up a pipe up her fireplace. she's she's pretty particular about that fireplace, so I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Okay. Well, I can remember the noises she was making the day I climbed up on your roof too.
Yeah, well, I think it wasn't so much that you were up there; it was so much the fact that she didn't realize you were going to be up there. So I think that's what kind of took her.
Roger, got that. Okay, so how do you like D-Star when you're up north far enough to operate it?
Oh, it's pretty good. It's not bad at all. I had, like I said, I made a bunch of contacts. I think I made probably. I was only, let's see, I was probably doing it for about 20 minutes, give or take, because it was during Thanksgiving time. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. One time was Thanksgiving, one time was Christmas last year. One time was like 20 minutes, time was like 5 minutes. So it didn't have, because we were doing family stuff, obviously. But the time I did about 20 minutes. It was pretty good experience overall.
Or capabilities was there was some activity earlier today on 50.125. That's the 6-meter sideband, I guess you would say national simplex sideband frequency, or where people call to find other stations and then go off to a different frequency to have contact.
Well, like I said, with only having 2 meters and 70 centimeters, basically, I mean, there's some other frequencies, but basically that's it. I don't get like I said, don't get that a whole lot. Like I said, I'm hoping to get an HF radio eventually, but right now it's just with everything that's going on, it doesn't look too promising.
Roger. Well, stuff happens. Anyway, that's about all I had, Randall, and I'll turn it back to you for any final. But thanks for the contact, and I hope you and your mom both really enjoy today. And I'll say 7-3 for the time being, and be bye for your final. K9RMR from N9CJT. See ya.
Okay, well, Noel, it's always good to talk to you, and like I said, I'm glad the repeaters are back and working. I assume Joe and Jeff or whoever figured out, hopefully either figured out the who was causing the trouble, or just, I don't know. It's just good that they're back. Long story short, because they are useful, and like I said, I hope you and your wife and everybody there has a Merry Christmas, and hopefully if I don't talk to you again, have a good start of a new year. I will say good day, God bless, 73. This is K9RMR from Tazewell, Indiana, and I am clear.